Hello and welcome to Arkansas Style. I am your host, Nicole Neiman. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Today's show is going to be a little different. We're taking a look back at some of our favorite segments with the amazing guests who have been with us since the very beginning, some even from day one. During our time on air, we've had the privilege of working with, learning from, and building genuine relationships with so many incredible people, individuals who aren't just some of our favorites, but who are also beloved by the community as well. They lead with passion and empathy, create new opportunities, and work to spread joy far beyond their careers. When we started this show, we knew we wanted to create something meaningful, something that helps people, teaches new skills, makes them laugh, inspires hope, and brings you some happiness 1 hour at a time. And when we were thinking of ways to do that, a person who immediately came to mind was someone who has always been a light in my life. And I knew she could be that for our viewers as well. Heather Boschke is a risk taker, marketing expert, artist, and published author, but we like to call her our girl guide to life. Whether we're overcoming negative thoughts, embracing our faults, or learning something new, Heather has joined us every other week since the very beginning, showing us how to find joy in every aspect of life, even the challenging ones. So today we're starting things off in the Joy Corner by revisiting a segment that we believe highlights a key part of Heather's mission. In this segment, she teaches us a lesson on aligning yourself with your soul's purpose. Let's take a look. Welcome back to another episode of our Joy Corner. It's where we get our daily dose of great life advice from our girl guide, Heather Boschke. Heather, great to see you, honey punny.
Hi.
All right, so today you threw a topic in my email, and we're talking about alignment. And needless to say, when it first came through, I was like, I don't need a back adjustment. What do you mean?
You don't need a back adjustment. You don't need your tires aligned. Okay, here it is. We all want to live a life of true meaning and fulfillment. And so it's this concept of living in alignment with your soul's purpose. And so let's talk about your soul's purpose for a minute. It is the unique reason for your existence, something deeper beyond the ordinary pursuits of career and status and material things. It's a calling that comes from within and that asks us to contribute our distinct gifts, passions, and energy to the world. Living in alignment with our soul's purpose is so much more than a job or a lifestyle. It means we are acknowledging and expressing our true self. It means we are engaging in activities that ignite our spirit and bring us a sense of fulfillment. It means we are making a positive impact by living our values, and it means continuous growth and evolution. And when we operate from a place that honors our core values, we tend to find that life kind of flows with a sense of ease, that decisions are easier to make. And when you live in alignment, you experience inner harmony. And it's when your insides match your outsides.
So it is kind of a whole body experience, body, mind, spirit, a lot to unpack there. But how do you know when you're not in alignment?
Okay, so alignment does not come from a place of fear or anger or resentment or frustration or jealousy. For alignment to work, we need to come from a place of calm, contentedness, and clarity. It's where you are not overwhelmed, but rather you feel centered. And alignment and peace, they're so closely connected. So when you feel frantic or anxious or stressed, you know you are not in alignment. So we may feel like off or maybe restless, or maybe you don't even know, but just something doesn't feel right. Or life doesn't flow as smoothly as we'd like it to. We feel agitated, uninspired, and maybe even fearful. It's when life seems so hard and not effortless. And when you get centered and you find that inner harmony, you may even start experiencing synchronicities, like all of the right people and places and things come into your life at all the right times. Because when you are in alignment, you're creating an environment where all of life's magic can properly make its way to you. And that's exactly how alignment feels, a bit magical.
All right, so what I'm hearing is phrases like putting a square peg in a round hole or beating your head against the wall. When you're feeling those kinds of emotions, you're out of alignment. So what are some ways that we can find that synchronicity, that magic?
Yes. Okay. I've got 4 ways to find more alignment in your life. Number one, we have got to understand our values. So, whether it's honesty or adventure or excellence, for example, my values are freedom, peace, and joy. If I am doing something that does not honor those values, I am not in alignment. And so, by creating situations in which our values are being honored, we are in alignment with who we are and what we do in life. And so, it all begins by creating awareness of your values and then making choices that honor them. And if you don't know your values, a very simple exercise is do a Google. Do a Google, get a list of values, and then start looking through them and just find what speaks to you. There might be one that you're like, ooh, that's me, and get a list and whittle it down to like 4 to 5 solid values that really speak to your truth. Number two, tune into your inner voice, which is what guides us to our soul's purpose. Trust your intuition and allow it to lead you to the right choices. And following your heart means getting quiet so that you can hear your soul's whispers. Because remember, all the answers that we seek, we find it within ourselves. And it's the heart we have to keep listening to because our mind, our heads, that is ego. We've got to stay true and centered to what's in our heart. Number three, follow your curiosity. Your curiosity is something you are meant to explore. These are clues to your heart's desires. And remember, our hearts can't steer us wrong. So when you are curious about something, a person, a skill, a place, you need to explore it because it's perfectly aligned to your truth. And number four, setting intentions. Our minds believe what we tell it. So every time we set an intention to cultivate a certain quality or even value, we're opening up our minds to believe that we can possess it. And the intention can be as simple as, I will trust myself more. It could be, I choose to say yes to things that light me up. Or we could play with our values and say, I will make choices that honor my value of X. To experience alignment, we have got to navigate out of life's chaos. And when we turn down the volume on the external noise, we can tune into what's in our heart, which is where all the answers are.
Love it. Can I share a little story with you?
Yes.
So it brings to mind the period in life that was really, really difficult when I was raising my kids by myself. Wow, talk about chaos, beating my head against the wall, fear, all of it, okay? And I had a girlfriend who said, Nicole, if you always put your kids first, you'll never make a bad decision. So when I hear you talking about values, I value my kids, my family, of course, and their futures. And that kind of helped me get into alignment. Just sit back and relax into those decisions. And putting my kids first was the value.
That is so amazing. And those are your North Stars. I mean, that's another great way to think about values. What are your guiding principles? And family, what a beautiful one, which is why you're the best mama.
Sometimes. Well, great to see you, honey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Our Joy Corner. It's just always a breath of fresh air to learn some guiding light principles from our girl guide, Heather Boschke. So good. Now coming up next, we'll chat with Kevin Shalin, author of the Mighty Rib Food Blog, who has been delighting us with all of Arkansas's best places to eat at, visit, and experience. And right after this, we're revisiting one of his favorite hidden gems, Terry Lynn Barbecue and Deli. Stick around, you're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. We're taking you to a Little Rock institution that has been serving the city for over 64 years. Kevin Shalin of the Mighty Rib Food Blog is here with the menu must-haves from Terry Lynn's Barbecue and Deli. Kevin, I think our viewers really look forward to your visit to find out who you're going to talk about.
It's kind of hard to narrow it down. I mean, there's so many great choices, but I thought today it would be wonderful to talk about, like you said, a Little Rock institution, Terry Lynn's Barbecue and Deli. It really is an institution. I go there far too often because I really like to mix it up and go to different places, but it's so easy to pop in there for a sandwich during the day. I love it, and it's just people that have been here a long time know and love that place.
Nice, I know. Well, you sent some pictures in, and every time you do that, it's like, please bring me that.
Well,
it looks amazing.
Well, you said it's been around they're going on their 65th year. They're going to have a celebration for it, and but they do have new ownership. Tim Jackson, he's a wonderful guy. He took over ownership this past year, and which is it's not easy to take over ownership of a place that's been around forever because you want to put your stamp on it, but you also want to kind of stick to what's going great. And Tim has done a wonderful job of that. They've kind of revamped the interior of the restaurant, which is great, but they've kept all the classics on the menu that you're looking at right there. They've got a variety of sandwiches that people have their own favorite sandwich. The Sharon, it's a turkey sandwich with a coleslaw, and it comes on this onion bun that you can see in those pictures. It's yellow, and there's Tim right there, the new owner of Terry Lynn's. And again, you walk in there, there's the Sharon. It is, you look at this sandwich and you're like, what makes it so special? And then you take a bite and you're like, my goodness, it's so freaking good. And then there's the deviled eggs. I always love a good deviled egg. I get a couple of those. They do tamales, they do barbecue. So they do a little of everything. But again, what makes it so special is they keep things simple, and it's just a really good, quick lunch spot where you can get in and out of there in 20 minutes and get a quick sandwich.
Yeah, it does look like a sandwich-forward menu, but comfort food kind of sandwiches. It looks like it's really hearty and flavorful. Great way.
Yeah, it'll fill you up, and they have the brownies as well, the fresh-baked brownies. And here's something that people that really know, in the know, will tell you, and I'm one that's going to sing its praises as well. They have the best ice machine there. It's got this soft ice that cranks out, and you get the soda fountain sodas. And I just adore their ice there, and everyone will tell you they have the best ice. If you like crunching ice and having a soda with ice in it like that, you won't find any better than Terry Lynn's. That's one of the things that I truly love about that place. In addition to the sandwiches, the brownies, the barbecue, and also the employees. Anytime we talk together like this, I always kind of mention the employees behind the place. It makes such an impact, and I know all of them. And most people that go there, they walk in like, hey, how's it going? And it's a real neighborhood feel to it.
Yeah, and this is what makes you so special, I think, is that you uncover little tiny hidden gems inside these spots that, have been around for 64 years. To say that they're ice is something you don't want to miss.
Yeah, and it's crazy, whenever I write about Terry Lynn's, again, it's been around for 64 years. There's still people that might live down the street that have never been. We all get in the rut and we do the same thing, and you can drive past a place 1,000 times and never stop in. There's their pastrami right there. It's on special. It's not every day, but when they have their pastrami, get it. That's house smoked. It's fantastic. Usually I lean towards the turkey because it's turkey. It's not as bad for you. At least I convince myself that it's not. But again, it's a real neighborhood joint, and even if you've never been there, I really encourage you to check it out. And the people behind it are fantastic. Again, I'm really impressed with the new owner, Tim Jackson. He's done some really great things to put a stamp on the place, but keep it to where it's not too different, which is, like I said, it's hard. They've got new chairs, new tables in there, and they've repainted the interior. But again, it's got that same cozy neighborhood vibe.
Yeah, get a sandwich wrapped up in that deli paper. That's so good to go, too.
And the smell, too, because meat's being smoked in there. That smell when you walk through the door, it's second to none.
Love it. Yeah. Okay, well, 64 years and counting.
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep.
As always, Kevin will be back in a few weeks with more places to eat, see, and visit around Central Arkansas. But until then, you can follow him on Facebook or keep up with his blog, themightyrib.com, for more recommendations and recipes to try. Well, if we're talking food, we gotta talk drinks, and we've had so much fun learning from alcohol-free consultant Mocktail Mo. So when we return, we'll re-examine one of her favorite mocktail recipes, the Batanga. Stick around, you're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. We've got another alcohol-free way to enjoy any party or hot summer day. Mocktail Mo is here today with her take on the classic 2-ingredient Batanga, usually made with silver tequila. But today we're bursting out the ritual tequila alternative to make it a drink that anyone can enjoy. Mo, I've not met tequila that I don't like, including alcohol-free.
I know. It's amazing. It's wonderful. So I saw this drink online, and I thought, well, you know, it must be okay. It's super easy. The hardest thing to do is get Mexican Coca-Cola. You have to find that. And I found it at a local taqueria and bought it. And the special part about it is it's actually made with cane sugar, no artificial corn syrup things. So it's sweeter and smoother. It's better.
Note to self, there's a Mexican Coca-Cola?
Hello.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right, well, doing it right. I had no idea. And
Yeah.
this is your secret ingredient.
And one more thing at the end.
Okay, all right, all right.
You'll see.
What you got?
The fun, I don't know how it's magic, and yet it is.
Wow. I know. Mo, on the commercial break, she was like, I'm really excited about this drink. I'm like, girl, it's got 2 ingredients. She's like, no, it's really
no, but
good.
It's fun. It's fun.
Good.
So here we are. We're going to start with glasses that we have rimmed with salt and chili lime spice. We're going to add about 2 ounces of the tequila alternative.
Okay.
You want to do it? Or you
No,
want me
no,
to do
no,
it?
no,
I'll
no,
do it.
no,
I'll do it.
no,
Okay.
you're the pro.
Okay, so we've added 2 ounces of tequila alternative. We're going to squeeze half a lime in there.
Okay.
So I did a little research, and this drink was created at a bar in Mexico called La Capilla. And in the 1950s, and La Capilla is the oldest bar in a town called Tequila.
What?
In Jalisco.
Jalisco.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, where
Yes.
tequila is made.
Where tequila is made.
Yes.
So I'm sure they thought, you know, let's make something super easy, and that's what they did. And I'm so glad that they did.
Okay.
In the 1950s. So this is sort of a classic vintage drink that we're making.
See, I love the little history lesson that goes along with it,
Isn't
too.
that fun?
I'm already feeling the sunshine and the
I know.
chips and salsa.
Yes, I'm so sorry I didn't bring that. So you finish with your Mexican Coca-Cola. And then, here's the fun part, here's the magic.
There's
You
more?
have to stir it with the glass that you cut the limes. And I think it adds some sort of love and happy energy into it, or a little bit more lime juice, whatever. But that is the rule, is you have to stir it with the knife that you cut the limes.
Not opposed.
No, lo and behold.
All right.
Here we go.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
My Chiquita banana.
What do you think?
Let me think about this. A lot going on right now.
I know. Okay, so it's simple to make, and there is a whole lot of flavor going on in it. And it's really refreshing. And I have to say that I made them a little while ago, and I keep making them again because they're so much fun to drink.
Yeah, I think this is a great alternative, like we said before. Let's talk about the ritual tequila, because that really is something very cool about this product. So 0 proof tequila alternative, it comes in this mesquite smoke, black peppercorn, capsaicin fruit, prickly ash, green bell pepper. Folks at home, I mean, this is no joke these are doing in this alternative space. They are making alcohol-free products that are over the top spectacular. I mean, I just read off some of these ingredients on here. I mean, really, no corners are cut, for sure.
No, not at all. And people wonder why alcohol-free products are expensive, and the reason is there's a lot of technique and time, and they're as difficult to make as the alcohol products.
All right.
They just don't have alcohol in them.
Love you.
I know, love you too. Hey.
Te amo.
Te amo.
I'm really breaking it out today. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
For more delicious mocktail recipes, visit Mo's blog at mocktailmo.com or follow her on social to keep up with her daily adventures and events. Now, when we were developing the show and brainstorming segment ideas, we knew we wanted to include exercises and activities that were easy, accessible, and beneficial for all ages and abilities. And since today's show is about celebrating the guests who've been with us from the start, we have to give a special shout out to Jazzercise instructor and studio owner Heather Oppid. So when we return, we'll review a segment where Heather demonstrates some simple yet effective ankle stretches, perfect for maintaining flexibility at any age or ability. Don't go away. You're watching Arkansas Style. Welcome back to Arkansas Style. So far we've covered cardio, resistance, flexibility, as well as balance, and today we are continuing our fitness journey with Heather Oppid. She's our expert who comes to us each week to help us from the max to the minimum to keep us in our best shape. Hey girlfriend.
Hey.
You look adorbs.
Oh, thanks. So do you.
Okay, what are we doing today, girl?
Well, today I'm not dressed in my workout clothes, so we're not doing anything too strenuous.
Okay.
This is just, you know, sometimes I think of my ideas of what we're going to talk about based on what's happened in life. And over the last week, I happen to know two people that have taken a tumble and fallen. And it can happen whether you're in your 20s or in your 70s. We're all at some point in time going to fall. And so I know we've touched on this before, but I thought we really need to talk about some ways that we can really help our body stay upright and reduce our risk of falls and injury and embarrassment, right? Because, you know, you may not get hurt, but it might hurt your pride a little too. So we're going to talk about the ankle joint, because our ankles, which is why I'm barefoot and you've got on sneakers, your ankle is the first thing that's going to respond to keep you upright when your body feels off balance. And so I like to recommend, and I think everyone at home should do this, I try to do it every morning, is when you first wake up and you turn that alarm clock off, the first thing you should do is not jump right out of bed. You should sit up and sit on the side of your bed, give your body time and your brain time to wake up, and do some ankle circles. So when you're just sitting on the side of the bed, you're just going to take your foot and circle it, and then you're going to reverse it. Go lots of different directions, go up and down, side to side. But what this is doing is this is helping the flexibility and mobility in your ankle joint. So that when you go to stand up, when you get out of bed, your body is ready to support your weight.
Fair.
And it's something very simple, but it can really make a big impact. And it gives you time to kind of get your head right before you jump right on out of the bed. So I always like people to start their day with some ankle circles.
Okay.
And then when you're sitting at your desk or you've been watching TV and you've been sitting for a long period of time, take a break and stand up and do something. We talk about that all the time. Some great things to do to help with ankle mobility and flexibility. I'm going to show you 3 quick exercises. One is a heel lift. So you're going to lift up and get as high on your toes as you can, and then lower. You'll get a little work in your lower legs and your calf. Good practice for if you like to walk in high heels. You know, really get those muscles used to being in that position so that you can be balanced. So that's a heel lift. And if that's too difficult for some people, you can just do, well, one at a time. If you can do that and practice with one leg at a time or both. And then the next thing you want to do is take it the other direction, because our balance is going to be challenged, you know, all around. So you want to rock back, and you ought to feel that weight shift, and you pull your toes up.
Ah, okay, that's a new one for me.
And that'll kind of challenge your balance a little bit. It requires your body to weight shift and still stay upright. And while this looks easy, there are people that this would be challenging and they would have to take a step back. So if you can't do that without having to take a step back, this is something you should practice, because it really does help with your balance strategy.
Can you do this one at a time too?
You can do that one at a time and tap, but you really want to be able to shift that weight back. So work your way up if you need to, but
working the balance.
Heel lift, toe lift.
Okay.
And the third one is just a heel walk. So you're going to walk forward, but you're going to land on your heel. And so you're really now putting a little more extra work through that ankle joint because you're shifting your weight and putting all your weight into one at a time. So something very simple.
Girl,
but
I'm feeling
again,
it in the front of my calf.
yeah, so you have a muscle here called the anterior tibialis, and it's helping to lift your toes up as you take that step. So you are getting a little lower leg work.
Okay.
So that's a good exercise. And then after you do those three things, lift your heels, lift your toes, and do a little heel walk, is you always want to stretch. Great easy way to stretch the back of your leg, your calf muscle, and on down into the ankle joint is to just take 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. And you want to step back until you feel a good pull up the back of the lower leg, and then just kind of lean forward. And that'll give you a good stretch through the back of that ankle.
God, it feels amazing.
Doesn't it feel good? It just feels good. And then you would want to do it on the other side because we always do everything symmetrically to stretch. So these are just some really good tips for people if you struggle with your balance. This is a great place to start. Start at your ankle because it's one of the first ways your body's going to help to maintain stability. So ankle circles when you wake up.
Okay. You know, Heather, this is what I love about what you do. I mean, you take us with all these different levels, and this is totally doable type of exercises that are equally as important as getting in your 30 minutes of cardio,
That's right. Sometimes it's not about the big sweat session and the power workout. I love those too. I had mine this morning. But sometimes it's just, you know, meeting people where they are and what is something that can really help them have a safer everyday life. And reduce their risk of a fall that could impact them in a very negative way.
Well, you know,
this is an easy thing to do.
I adore you as a person to pieces, but I love what you do even more, and it's a whole community of people. So remind people about Jazzercise and what you offer.
Well, we do cardio sculpt and power sculpt programs, so we just work on getting you a good heart workout and a good muscle workout. We incorporate balance, stretching, strengthening, all of that wrapped up into one really fun workout.
That's fun. Now go out and join Heather and her amazing team of instructors at their West Little Rock studio located off Rodney Parham Road. First class is always free, so go for the party, but stay for the results. It has been an absolute pleasure not only meeting new people through this show, but also working and speaking with some of the top professionals in their fields, from doctors to counselors and beyond. And speaking of, we've had the privilege of welcoming two outstanding medical professionals, UAMS cardiologist Jean Way, along with relationship counselor Charlie Simpson. Each have guided us through the weeks through a wide range of important topics. So right after the break, we'll return to one of our insightful conversations with Dr. Way, who's always been ready with answers to our most pressing medical questions and concerns. Stay with us. You're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. Dr. Jean Way, triple board certified doctor with UAMS, joins us each week to discuss a medical topic to help inform us and keep us healthy. And today we're tackling migraines. Many suffer these debilitating headaches, and we're asking her about the factors that contribute and the remedies that can help you cope. Well, Jean, all right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm so grateful for us to be talking about such an important topic that affects so many of us and our friends and families. But you know, one of the triggers for a migraine headache could be the weather. And we noticed that it's been kind of stormy, and we noticed it's been some rain, and sometimes there might be some floods. So, you know, in a flood, it's preferable to rescue the female ants first. Do you know why?
The female ants first?
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Because a male ant is buoyant. Yeah, buoyant. Did you get it? Okay. I am so sorry. Okay. All right. Well, having said that, let's talk about headaches. there are two main types of headaches, okay? One is primary and the other one is secondary. Primary headaches are those which occur and they can cause discomfort in other areas. And the two main types are tension headaches and migraine headaches, okay? Those are the two. And of course the other ones are those that which result from other medical conditions. Okay, so what causes a migraine headache? Well, there's about 10 triggers. They include stress, they include lack of sleep, they include food or lack thereof, they include alcohol, they include other triggering conditions. And the point of it is it could be light, it could be noise. Some of us are sensitive to light, for example, and some of us are sensitive to noise. Of course, stress is a big deal. Lack of sleep, as I mentioned, or certain foods, certain sensations, certain odors can also trigger a migraine. Okay, so migraines can be without headaches, though. So I just want to mention that because migraine is a, if you will, a total body reaction that includes some autonomic system changes as well. And I'm talking about heart rate and blood pressure, and they come together. Also, there could be nausea and vomiting. There could be diarrhea. It could be some other issues. Migraines can also, as I mentioned, come without a headache. You could have an abdominal migraine, which many children have, more than adults do. Okay. You could have migraine elsewhere. So, and you could have silent migraines. Now, you could have migraines that are with or without aura, okay? So what am I talking about? Sometimes people have migraines that are predicated by, say, a visual or sensory perception. They may see something, they may see light squiggles across their visual field, they may hear something. Those are auras. Not all migraines have auras, and some people have them before and sometimes people don't. Can a migraine be silent? Yes, it could. You could have no pain, no symptoms.
Let me jump in and ask you a basic question. What is the difference between a normal headache and a migraine?
Yes, thank you for asking. So how do you talk about a difference? So migraine involves, as I mentioned, more other symptoms and more other systems. A regular headache, for example, a tension headache could be, which is the most common headache of all, is tension headache, and that also is associated, for example, neck discomfort, tension in your muscles. You can get it by jaw clenching, you can get it by being hungry, you can get it by being depressed. It could be emotional triggers.
Okay, one more question on that topic is that it seems like headaches are more receptive to treatment as opposed migraines seem to have to require a lot more effort.
Okay, that used to be the case, okay, but lucky for all of us, we now have specific treatments for migraines. Are we lucky or what? Now, it's been discovered that there's a little protein, it's called calcitonin gene-related peptide, CGRP. I know that's what you wanted to know. These little tiny peptides, they're pieces of a protein. They are secreted and they travel up the nerve and they go up to the receptor that then go to the trigeminal nerve that comes to your face and your head, and they trigger the pain. Now, we have specific, if you will, drugs now that specifically target those little proteins, bind to them, and then they can't go to where they're supposed to go, and you're completely free of the headache.
See, that is great news, and why you should go see your doctor if you are dealing with this, because there is hope and help out there. It's so exciting, Jean.
And you can get it treated, and you can have, we even have pills now. You can take it at the onset of a migraine. You take it, and you won't get it.
Nice. And in my ear, I'm hearing that they work wonders. We must have a happy customer in the booth there somewhere.
Yes.
Well, Jean, so much fun. Thank you for teaching
you.
us this. And next time I'm in the flood, I will let the boy ants go down the river.
Yeah.
I probably would anyway. Okay, good to see you.
Thank you.
Jean will be back next week to answer more of our medical questions and concerns, but as usual, we are always taking recommendations. So if you or a friend have anything you're curious about, send us a message on social media and we'll touch on it in one of our upcoming segments. From healing our bodies with Dr. Jean Way to nurturing our relationships with counselor Charlie Simpson, each week Charlie has guided us through various aspects of maintaining healthy relationships. And a topic that is routinely woven into each segment is healthy communication with your partner. So when we return, we'll revisit a segment that dives into just that. Stick around, you're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. Today we're diving into the world of conflict resolution. Did you know that the way to start a conversation during a disagreement can significantly impact the outcome? Well, today we'll be discussing what's called the gentle startup method and how it can help couples navigate those conflicts in a healthier way. And as always, we're joined by Charlie Simpson with the Arkansas Relationship Counseling Center. All right, so starting it.
Starting it.
What did you do?
Exactly.
That's not good.
I mean, and this is how powerful the start of a conversation is. In our research, we can pretty much predict in the first 3 minutes of a conflict whether a couple will divorce or not.
What? Divorce?
Divorce.
Like go all the way, huh?
Up to a 98% accuracy rate. We can just look at the first 3 minutes. And so that's the importance of making sure that when you start a conflict, you know how to start it. And so there's just a gentle approach, you know, you got your gentle approach. And this is where there's an issue. You bring your grievances to them in a gentle way, in a respectful way, in a way where you're not trying to push your partner away. Or you're going to come in a harsh startup where it's going to be an unhealthy conflict. It's going to start with something critical or something that isn't going to be very accepting, and more than likely it's going to come off as blaming, accusing, or attacking. And then the next thing you know, that couple will just start spiraling. Some of the stuff will just will be pushed to the side, and it'll just add up over the years until it gets to the point where the couple will end up not being together. So we're going to do our role play again.
Okay, this is important business.
This
I mean,
is.
if we can really keep these couples together by starting the conflict off right.
Starting it off. And so there's been an issue with us again. You forgot to do the dishes last night, and I hate going to bed with the dirty kitchen. I wake up, I see the dishes, and I'm in the kitchen, and you come in. Now, I'm going to either give you a harsh or a gentle startup, and I want you to pick which one it is. All right, so you walk in. You left the dishes in the sink again. You're always on that phone.
Oh, yeah, that's not helpful.
Now listen to it. That statement took about 5 seconds. And that 5 seconds is going to spiral that couple into a direction, if they don't repair, where they're going to be in a conflict for an hour or two. And you know, when you keep having those moments in the relationship, those 5 seconds are very powerful in how a couple communicates. So let's try a different one. So you come in the kitchen. Oh, you know, I've just been so overwhelmed lately. You know, when I see the dishes, it just feels like it's going to be a lot more weight on my shoulders.
Yeah, no, I can empathize or sympathize with you because I sense your feelings in that.
And there's a lot of I statements in that one. And you know, when you take the responsibility and you can just use I statements instead of you, more than likely your partner is going to hear something other than blame or criticism, and we'll be able to compromise or whatever we need to do in that moment, and then move the conflict in a positive direction. Now, there's a caveat to that, because I can still be gentle but send a message to you that hits you in a way where I know I forgot, now I start to get upset because I didn't do it. And there can still be a response back that the listener could really give. And it's important for couples, even in those moments, to just try to repair. Hey, I'm not trying to blame you. I just know if I have to do these dishes, it's just going to be a lot more. Can we work out a plan or something on how we can take care of this? And so, is this just 5 seconds?
And I like the last example that you just gave, where you kind of combine the two, where where you're talking about your feelings and how it's going to make you a little bit more stressed out, but then you also say, I'm not trying to blame you, as if you don't want to be harsh.
Right. And those are the repair techniques, because in just small little micro moments, we can send a message to our partner that hits them in a way that the speaker might not even know about. But the listener's response is definitely going to tell, the speaker whether it was accepted or not. And if the couple can repair, hey, I didn't mean to make you feel a certain type of way, is there any way we can compromise, or, any way we can bring a solution to this so that we can move forward?
Well, those are alarming statistics if you don't get this right, folks. So practice makes perfect. I think this is a great exercise, and I appreciate you teaching us a little bit. Thanks, Charlie.
Definitely.
Okay, well, if you need some extra help learning this gentle startup method, reach out to Charlie at the Arkansas Relationship Counseling Center by giving them a call or scanning the QR code on your screen. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Thank you all for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed reminiscing with us about the amazing guests who've been with us from the start and who will hopefully continue to inspire us all as we continue the journey. Now, we couldn't include everyone. We must acknowledge some of the other loyal guests who've been integral to our show from the start, like Michael Cook, who joins us bi-weekly with the latest in film, and Brandy Bowie from Cabot Animal Shelter, as well as Adam Tyndall from the North Little Rock Animal Shelter for supporting our mission to find loving homes for all animals. And of course, the Looney Bin for always entertaining our viewers with laughter, unique personalities, and top-notch comedians. We can't thank you all enough for sticking with us and helping to make this show as special as we envisioned. Now, that's all we have for you today, so we will see you all again next time with love. Mwah.
Thank you for watching Arkansas Style with Nicole Neiman. Furniture provided by Hank's Fine Furniture.